All right, welcome back to the next review here on the Logan and Ethan Shit Show channel. We decided that we're going to keep up the spooky horror type shit that we had going on before. We watched the new Paranormal Activity Next of Kin on Paramount Plus. For those of you that have Paramount Plus, it's free to stream. You don't have to pay anything extra or anything like how Disney does. You don't have to do that.
You don't gotta go to no COVID filled theater.
Yeah. So you're good.
Yeah.
Anyway, as if you've seen our other reviews, you already know that we start off with kind of like our first impressions of it, and then we get into a plot summary, and then we give our pros and cons of the movie from each of us, and then we come up with our final verdict at the end of it. That's based on a number scale, and it's based on everything that we talked about prior to that number that we give.
Yep. And Logan is out for today. Filling in is Chief Hopper.
Yep.
Was he the chief or sheriff?
Well, it doesn't matter.
All right. It was Hopper from Stranger Things.
Yep.
Got to represent.
This is Halloween costume right there.
I was getting a little toasty, so I had to ditch the long sleeve fuckboy fade and go for the Miami Jersey Shore type deal. Anyway.
All right. Well, anyway, to get this, as always in our other reviews as well, Logan will put like a little image of one of the characters' heads from the movie above mine or his head, depending on if it's in a spoiler-free spot or not in the video, and he'll put the text over that says which side is which.
Yeah.
So, all right.
That I will.
All right. Well, let's jump into this review then of the new Paranormal Activity. All right. All right, so I'll start off with the first impressions if you'd like, or do you want to start?
No, go for it.
All right. So I want to preface what I'm about to say. Growing up, as much as I love horror movies, I never really liked the Paranormal Activities.
Yeah.
I tried watching them whenever I was younger, and they didn't really catch me. I was kind of like, this is stupid. Like, I've never really been a big fan of, like, the found footage type scary movies, because I'm just like, what are you trying to prove here? Like, I already know that this isn't real, because if this was real found footage, they wouldn't be fucking releasing it to a movie.
They're I think, in my opinion, sorry, I don't want to interrupt too much, but I feel like they're your actual stereotypical horror movie.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Very vanilla.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. It's all good. Oh, anyway, I went and bought the Paranormal Activity collection at Best Buy not too long ago, and I did watch the first 4. I haven't seen the marked ones or the Ghost Dimension, which is the 5th and 6th one, yet. So I've seen all the original first 4, which I guess are like all, from what I gathered from it, they're all like a part of like the same grouping of like it all follows like the same characters and shit.
Yeah, and I think I've seen all those.
Yeah, and I haven't seen the 2 newest ones.
And I would call those the spin-offs, maybe.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. Like,
the first one, so I know this is about the next of kin, but like I said, I was giving a little preface here into why this is my first impression. The first one was actually pretty damn good. It was like actually watching something that was kind of cool, like kind of scary, where you didn't know what was going on. It was a ghost.
Right, yeah.
And it was kind of cool to me because I was like, oh shit, it's another ghost story. And then as they progressed, each one just started getting more and more intense.
Crazy, yeah.
And I haven't seen, like I said, the other 2, but now seeing this one, it's like, whoa. Like, if you think about the first Paranormal Activity, like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
That whole first movie just took place in that one fucking apartment.
And they pulled it off.
Yeah, and it was a huge hit.
Yeah.
And it took place in that one apartment with, like, 3 actors.
Yeah.
And now it's come to, I mean that's cool that they've gotten enough, fan base and money to like make a bigger production, but now it's just become like kind of how you said, like a stereotypical horror movie. So I want to say that my first impressions of this movie, honestly, I wasn't like, I just kind of sat there.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like how you felt during Halloween Kills. I was just kind of sitting there like.
It was very vanilla, I think, is a good way, in my opinion, of describing it. Just like
it was pretty predictable.
Yeah.
So that's my first impression of that. And I'm not going to give out spoilers yet because we don't want to get to that point yet. But everything that happened, it was just like, well, okay.
Yeah, Is that? Are you done?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can give yours.
Yeah, I honestly about feel the same way. I guess back to what you were saying about the old ones being good. I feel like this might be a weird connection, but like it's kind of like the rappers and the music artists.
Yeah.
Where like Post Malone when he started, me personally, I feel like his shit was fire, and then I just saw him on a constant decline. I know a lot of people can disagree, but my point is when the money starts racking in, and you start having other people telling you how to do shit, and it's not you anymore, then it starts getting kind of washed out,
Yeah.
and it becomes kind of rinse and repeated. But yeah, I don't know. It definitely wasn't scary or anything, but I feel like the story was half decent.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll get to more of the story and shit as like we go to the pros and cons. But
Yeah,
the first impression, yeah, it wasn't
that's my first impression. Yeah,
it wasn't a bad story. That's I
Right.
see what you're saying.
I've
But it
seen
was-
I've seen worse.
Yeah, but it was a repetitive story,
Right.
In the sense that I feel like I've seen that movie multiple times.
Yeah, yeah. It's all. It's basically the same shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you slice it.
Yeah, same shit. No matter how it smells. All right. Anyway, are we done with our first impressions here?
I believe so.
All right. We'll get on to the plot summary. All right, so I have the Paranormal Activity Next of Kin plot synopsis pulled up. This is a pretty brief plot summary. I'm not trying to sit here and bore you guys whenever you guys could look it up yourselves. But just to make our videos all the same whenever it comes to our reviewing aspect, I'll give a little brief one. So it starts off, Margot and her boyfriend Chris are hoping to make a documentary film about Margot's past. Her mother, Sarah, left her outside a hospital. The security footage of Margot's mother abandoning her disturbs Margot to this day. She wonders about what compelled her mother to take such a drastic decision. In the present day, she meets her blood relative Samuel. Sound guy Dale appears shortly after. He was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
He was my favorite character.
And he claims to have had COVID 5 times. I don't know why that's in here, but it is. While Dale keeps the party entertained with inappropriate jokes, Sam leads them to the small Amish community of Baylor Farm.
Baylor,
Yeah, Baylor Farm, from where Margot's mother Sarah came from. While the world has moved on, the community still lives in temporal flux. Jacob, the patriarch of the commune and the father of Sarah, welcomes the crew. They find accommodation in a rustic and cobweb-filled room. Late at night, Margot wakes up to discover red lights moving in the distance. When Margot asks Samuel about the lights, he tells her about a bear that claims some livestock. Yeah. Margot takes a tour of the barn, and Dale gets a proper Amish haircut. They get along with the local children and nuns pretty well, but all of them seem to be hiding something. Before the crew can fathom the dreadful secrets of the village, the horror spirals out of control. So that was the synopsis on this. And, I mean, just judging on what I read, that's literally it.
That's a good. If we could keep this section spoiler free, that was a pretty good spoiler free plot summary. I'd say. I don't think there was anything spoilers in there.
I
don't.
Usually I have a lot to say about the plot because I like follow the movie and I like to like learn about shit as I'm going. Yeah, but with this movie, I was sitting there just like, okay, like, yeah, I've seen it. I mean, yeah, it's a really basic plot. Pretty much, it's especially if you like the scary movies and shit. Well, it just follows. This girl wants to find out about her past, and then so she brings her and a couple friends along, finds out about her past, and it ends up being something fucking crazy. And then usually they all, don't make it out, or something fucking crazy happens and all this shit. And that's literally, I mean, it's kind of like a cliche thing.
It's your typical fucking keys fumbling, tripping over your feet, fucking can't find the knife. Fucking
yeah, and I don't want to I don't want to discount the Paranormal Activity series, like I said, because I mean the first one was great. I honestly really liked the first one whenever I watched it, and the other ones, the 2, 3, and 4 that I've seen, I haven't seen the other ones, like I said, but they weren't so bad. But this one just kind of took that Insidious turn to me, and I'm not trying to get too crazy off topic here, but Insidious I have a problem with because it starts off really sick. And then it goes super fucking like crazy and out of like, you're like, what? Yeah. And to me, that takes you out of that horror.
Right.
Like at first, like, do you remember Insidious?
Barely.
Like it starts off like a ghost story. Like the Conjuring did this really well. They didn't do that shit. They made it like a ghost story straight from start to end, and it was sick. But Insidious, they fucking started like, they would start off like a pretty scary thing, just like this Paranormal Activity shit, and then it just went like way too out of control.
Right, yeah.
Like where it literally like is so unrealistic and so stupid that you're just like, this isn't fucking scary. This is just like, took a turn for the stupid.
They're grasping, yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I don't really have much else to add about the plot. It's pretty standard, straight. Especially if you like the other shows in the series, just like Logan said.
Yeah,
so.
I don't quite remember the first one, but I remember it being better. So
yeah, again, it was just it was so sick because it was an actual like ghost story. It was an actual paranormal story.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying this isn't paranormal, but we'll get to that. As we get
actually,
to the
I was about to say
spoilers,
something too, but I'm gonna wait till until we get deeper into the video.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All
right, we're good there.
All right. Next, we'll get on to our pros and cons, and then we just have our final verdict left. All right, Logan, do you want to start your pros for the movie?
Yeah. So I was just gonna say this last segment, but I saved it. The thing I always liked about Paranormal Activity is it's kind of like the home camera filmed feel. Like, kind of like Godzilla and shit. I know a lot of people that hate that shit because it's all janky and fucking seizure-worthy and whatnot. But I like that because I like dabbling into, like, film and shit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's kind of cool to me. But,
So, just real quick. So, you like the found footage type shit?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I like the concept of it.
Okay.
I'm not saying, like, just because they filmed it on an iPhone, it was the best movie ever. But
yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I like the concept of it. And the movie wasn't filmed on an iPhone, obviously, but it was cool. And then like the drone shots and everything.
Yeah.
And then my other pro would be the story. Again, not the best story ever, but it was half decent. Yeah. I've seen worse. And I think the setting was pretty cool.
Yeah, the setting was cool.
Yeah. It was a little, kind of stereotypical, but also different.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they throw in like the Native American shit like out of nowhere. And my wife's a native, and she always gets all cringed out with that. But they kind of went with the Amish, which I have personally never seen before in a horror movie. So
yeah, there's been a couple like that I can think of. Like the Witch was kind of set in like that sense.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't necessarily Amish because it was set back in like the fucking 1800s, but it was like that same style.
Yeah, and I've seen like Cabin in the Wood horror movies and shit, obviously, but this was like an actual house in the woods, and it was like a whole community. But anyway.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that would be that'd be my pros.
All right. Well, for my number one pro, if you guys watched our Halloween Kills thing, this isn't going to come as a surprise to you, but I liked the gore in it. It actually had quite a bit of gore.
Yeah.
It was pretty sick. The couple kills that did happen, it wasn't like Halloween Kills. There wasn't kills happening all over the place, you know. But the couple kills that did occur, they were pretty like gnarly to see. It was like, damn.
Yeah. They were unique.
Yeah, like whenever the dude fell down the well and his fucking body was all in half, like that shit was like, whew. My other pro is I did kind of like the monster thing at the end of it. I guess it's a demon, Amadeus or whatever his name was. It was pretty cool looking, I guess. It was kind of freaky the way it sounded and the way it moved. So, I mean, that was my pro for that as well. I also think, and this kind of goes with the other Paranormal Activities that I have seen, the first 4 in this one, I do think that they do have pretty good acting in them.
I was going to mention that. For all the movies being no-name actors.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
They do half decent. It's not like that fucking, what do you call it? The Hallmark movies.
Yeah. Oh no, the Lifetime. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are good. Fucking disgrace.
Yeah.
Man.
Good. I was gonna mention that. Yeah.
Yeah. I did like the acting in it because I just think that like even though like I was kind of mentioning at the beginning of this video, like you already know it's not really found footage, obviously, because it's a huge thing now, but the way that they act kind of gives you that sense. Like they do a good job at it.
Yeah.
Like the way that like they move around and shit. Like I do want to say another one of my pros here is the way that the characters acted. Like it wasn't super pushed and like super forced.
Right.
They were kind of like they
acting
kind of
natural.
seemed like normal, like, oh, like, yeah, that could be me and a couple of my friends too.
Yeah.
So I kind of
Right.
like that way of it. And they're not. I know that they've had like she was like fumbling around for the keys and tripping and falling, but for the most part, like the way that she was like looking around to like see like what was going on and shit, it was like that
Yeah.
was pretty realistic to me.
Oh, no, she was
because I
good.
wouldn't be all sitting there like, what's that? I would be
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, dude.
Yeah. No, she was good.
Yeah.
The other guys weren't not so much, but not terrible. Again,
Yeah.
I've seen worse.
Yeah, and my other, it's kind of a pro, but as Logan mentioned, he's my favorite character too. I fucking love that Dale dude. That's
Yeah.
fucking sound guy. He was pretty fucking funny. Yeah, all of his lines were pretty like legit, and be like, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I think that would probably be about it. I do like the setting it was in, and I do like the idea of the cult, but I'll get to my cons later, and I have something to say about that as well.
All right.
All right, but that's about my pros too. I mean, we'll talk about it more in the final verdict, but it wasn't like a terrible movie. But
No, yeah, I don't know if I'd watch it again. Like,
I wouldn't.
it wasn't very I don't know, memorable.
No,
I'm not gonna go tell anybody about it,
no.
other than the 3 people watching. All right,
This goes out to you, 3 people.
the shitters. All right, I guess I'll. You want to move on to the cons then?
Yeah, you can start with your cons, dude.
All right, my cons. I don't know, just the fact that it's like a stereotypical, which I don't really know at this day and age. I don't really know what you could do to make it not stereotypical. Honestly, it's kind of
Yeah,
the whole genre is getting kind of, in my opinion, it's getting kind of mashed. Like it's all the same. Like I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to read too deep into that. But
yeah.
and then my other con is this. I think I probably already moved the thing, but it's gonna be spoilers. But they were trying to be portrayed as Amish, but I knew from like 5 minutes after them being in the house that they weren't like Amish. I'm not like a Amish expert or anything, but I didn't see any of the black caps. I didn't see any. That sounds dumb, but the big poofy beards
Well,
and
and-
the fucking.
Also, I really don't think real Amish people would let some fucking camera crew come
For
up in
sure,
there. They would
yeah.
be like, "What the fuck?
Yeah, and
no!"
it
Get
did
that
show.
shit outta
Yeah,
here."
it showed that he tried to go get them to film, and originally they said no, and then all of a sudden they let him in. But, yeah, I don't know. And then they discovered that they weren't actually Amish. They were
Yeah.
basically like Satanists. But then that I don't know why. I guess what I'm saying is I don't know how it took them that long to put those pieces together.
Yeah,
But anyway, and then my other con, this is this kind of, I don't know. You're probably not going to agree, but I don't like how Granted, it wasn't bad, but like there was masks and shit in the beginning, and they were talking about COVID. I personally hate that shit. I don't like it in TV shows, and I don't like it in movies unless the movie's about COVID.
yeah,
I'm watching this movie to get away from my life.
yeah,
I don't want to be reminded about COVID,
yeah.
even if it was jokingly, which there was like a little one punchline about it, but still, I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I didn't want to fucking.
All right.
But I guess that's it. Yeah,
That's it for your cons?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Uh-oh.
no, I'm just kidding. My first and foremost biggest fucking con, and what I think destroyed this movie for me, which again, it's not a bad movie, but it would have been so much better, is the fact that it was not Paranormal Activity. They took away from the ghost shit to make it into a fucking Satanist cult.
Yeah.
All the shit. Even as we get along in the movie and you find out that fucking creature was Margot's mom, it's like, well, then that's not paranormal. And
Yeah.
they never went back and explained or showed anything about the actual ghost shit that was happening inside the house. Like whenever she was in like the room and the bed went down.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, there's a demon in there. No, there fucking wasn't. So what the fuck was it?
Yeah. There
It was just random
yeah.
fucking people walking around.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, to me, it was not Paranormal Activity. And I get that, like, if they made the same movie over and over again, people would absolutely hate it.
Right.
And
They got to change it up. Yeah.
yeah, and it's cool that they went this way with it, but they should have had a lot more paranormal stuff in there. Because at first, like I said, in that scene, like where she's in the attic and all that shit, I was like, okay, this is Paranormal Activity. This is sick. But then as you get along, and again, as it turns into the what I personally like to call the Insidious trap, it just turns into like this huge fucking, no, they're all just Satan worshippers and they're sacrificing goats and they're trying to kill this chick and feed her to the monster. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
Then how is that paranormal?
They could have had ghosts of like the people she killed.
Exactly.
They could have just easily put those. There was like one ghost face.
Yeah, but that was it.
They didn't have any explanation of
That's
who
what
it
I'm
was
saying.
or where it came from. Or
That's what I'm saying.
No
dude.
context.
And that's why it is such a huge con to me. Like,
Yeah.
I watched whenever the credits started to roll, I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like, there's no paranormal.
And-
like, you can call that supernatural because of the monster and all this shit, but how can
Yeah.
you sit there and tell me that shit was like a paranormal thing? Because it wasn't. It's not. It's not a part of that.
Yeah. And it was also I sorry, I don't want to over reach, but
You're all right, dude.
I should have put this in my cons, but the ending was kind of weird. Like I thought he was gonna go kill those fuckers, but like, did he get possessed or like?
See that?
And I thought he was gonna show him in the cop car going to fuck the people that ran, but it just kind of ended. I was like, all right.
Well, and as I was thinking as it like went further along, like it could have been the paranormal thing that was in like the attic and the face that you saw in the window and all this shit. It could have been the fucking demon, like the actual demon, just walking around, and that could explain why that dude was all possessed in the end and shit.
Okay, yeah.
But they didn't really set that up for people to like understand that right away.
Right, and the demon.
And it took me thinking about it for a minute to be like, oh,
Yeah.
I guess maybe
And-
that was the cause. I don't know.
And they made you come to believe that the demon was down there chained up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You're right.
Well, and that's the thing is that it was so fucking weird because that thing wasn't even a demon really. It was her fucking mom as a monster. But was she possessed by a demon?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like there's just a lot of unanswered questions, and I like horror movies in the sense that like there can be unanswered questions, but that was just makes that took away from it for me personally. Like
Yeah.
I was just sitting there like, well, then this isn't a paranormal thing. It's a fucking satanic cult that had a monster.
Yeah. I feel you.
They were just feeding a monster. So
Yeah.
like what? Call it a creature activity or something, you know?
Monsters activity.
Monster activity or something. It's like it was not paranormal. And again, I haven't seen the marked ones or the ghost dimension. I don't know if those get crazy too, but if they do, I think I would have the same exact thoughts in my head.
Yeah.
Especially after watching the original 4 so recent. I was like, what? Those ones stuck to the fucking paranormal shit.
They perhaps would have been better off. What was this new one called?
Next of kin.
Maybe they should have just called it Next of Kin and taken away the Paranormal Activity name.
That's the thing though, is that because the found footage shit kind of started with the Blair Witch Project back in like the 90s or whatever, and the Paranormal Activity has created like the found footage like genre, like they made it like the whole genre out of it, and that's why the found footage was like what made it Paranormal Activity. Like it was like the same exact like thing, but again, the other Paranormal Activities, they always had like the timestamps in like the video because it was like a home video.
Yeah.
So you got to see like, oh damn, this shit's going on at 3:15 every single night that it would show.
Yeah.
And it was sick.
Yeah.
And it would get progressively like the ghosts would be fucking with them and taking off blankets and making loud noises and all this shit. And so I don't know. It turned a completely different direction for me, and that
for sure.
That's my biggest con.
Yeah. Look at that. We're actually agreeing on something.
Look at that. You know, even for a horror movie, that's crazy.
I'm sorry. I thought you were gonna come in here and fucking start dick riding it.
No, dude. Whenever it comes to like ghost shit, I really am really like picky about it.
Yeah.
Like really picky. I don't like to just sit there and like watch every ghost movie that comes my way and be like, oh, I love ghost shit. No, like I have to like Insidious is not a bad movie as well, but like I said, I feel like the ending and shit just ruined it. And even though that's like compared to The Conjuring is way better. Way better than Insidious, dude.
Yeah, because I remember The Conjuring and I don't remember Insidious. So
it's because, in my opinion, it did what this movie did, and it took away the fear because it showed what it actually was.
Right.
And I don't like to. Whenever I think about ghosts, there is no answer. Nobody fucking knows.
Yeah.
Like what's going on out there in the ghost world unknown, or whatever, you know? So it's like, why are you going to show me this fucking monster chick getting fed goats? And that just took away. Just boop, just took it away. Yeah. Anyway, and my other con that I had is it was such a fucking slow start, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I was sitting there like, dude, just fucking have a loud bang. while they're sleeping. Just fucking have them get scared.
Throw a sex scene in there. I mean, come on, do something.
It took until like the hour mark for it to start picking up, and it was only like an hour and a half. So
Yeah.
the hour leading up to it, and I get you have to build it up and shit, but the hour leading up was just like,
Yeah, the climax finally fucking came.
yeah, again, like the other Paranormal Activities, is like it started off like a little slow, but then like around like the 20-minute mark in the other ones, it was already picking up.
Yeah.
And there was shit going on and people getting freaked out. But now this one, it just took so long, dude.
Yeah.
So fucking long. And it's like,
Yeah.
please do something, man. Fucking demon, just kill him. Do something. Fucking yell or something, dude. But I think that those are my cons. Those two big things for me. I mean, there was like little things throughout, but nothing too crazy. Those two are my major cons right there. And I think that that's really what did it for me in this movie.
All right. And one little thing, a little girl in the Amish community asked if one of the guys had TikTok.
Oh yeah.
And then in my head, I'm like, how do you even know what TikTok is?
See, I think that they put that in there to, I think that they put that in there for the viewer to start thinking about that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what the fuck? How does she know about TikTok? But then they made it to where the characters didn't think about it. So then it was supposed to make you be like, you guys are stupid. You look around.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
Yeah, okay.
But in my opinion, they failed at that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you saw that and you're just like, okay.
Yeah.
It didn't make me think about, oh, are they really Amish?
Yeah.
Because like at a certain part, dude, kind of how you said, it wasn't like right away, but like at a certain part after the movie was progressing, I was like, I don't even fucking care if they're Amish, dude. Like there's not even like, what does their being Amish have to do with anything about it?
Yeah.
Like they just it's
because
pointless.
Amish can have a Satanist cult too. So what is
Yeah.
it? Yeah, I feel you. Anyway.
And they're allowing them to come in there with a big ass camera, a fucking sound mic, everything. It's just like,
Yeah.
well, they're not fucking Amish then, fine.
Yeah.
And they let them have that loud ass generator just sitting out in the middle of the fucking field. It's like, what? You think that's cool?
Yeah.
To those Amish people, they're like, what's that loud generator out there?
Yeah, I can't fucking sleep.
They're all sitting there like poking with a stick.
Yeah.
They're all, what is this devil machinery? But yeah. And anyway, those are my cons for it. I wasn't.
No, I feel you.
Yeah.
We can move on to the final word then.
Yeah.
All right. I find I don't really know what to say, to be honest with you. I mean, it was just like another fucking spooky movie. I don't know. Shit. Motherfucking No, I wouldn't watch it again. The cinematography for being, I was trying to make it seem home recorded. So, in you know, if you put your head there and pretended it was home recorded, it was pretty good, even though it wasn't, obviously. But
Yeah.
I like the cinematography. And,
But I do want to say that that's another fault, though, is because that they, even though that is supposed to be home video, why would they make it to be like, oh no, they're actually filming this major document, like they have a sound guy and everything?
Yeah.
That took away the
That's not a
home
home
thing
video,
for me.
yeah.
That just made it like, no, anyway, you can continue. Sorry.
Honestly, that's pretty much all I have to say. I don't know. I really don't. I mean, if you want to go watch it, I definitely recommend streaming it. I would not recommend seeing it in theaters.
I don't think it came to theaters. I think it's
okay.
exclusive Paramount.
Okay. Yeah, that would make more sense.
Yeah, I could be wrong, though. I'm not sure.
No, you're probably right, because I haven't, before you told me about it, I had no clue it even existed. So
Yeah, I just saw it on, I put on Paramount to watch football last fucking Sunday, and I was like, oh shit, the new Paranormal Activity's coming out.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you could go do yours, and then
we'll give
do
our numbers.
scores. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just want to say, as a sort of a wrap up to like what I've been talking about throughout this entire thing, which has kind of been a lot of shit talking, but there is some positives to it, as we've talked about in our pros. But if you want to watch a scary movie with predictable jump scares, a predictable plot, I mean, then Paranormal Activity is for you. If you've seen all the other Paranormal Activities and, you know, you're like, damn, maybe I should, you're kind of debating on whether or not you should watch this, I mean, go ahead. If you have Paramount Plus as it is and it's free, There's no harm in it. But
I think, yeah.
what?
I think it'd be a good pumpkin carving movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like a background thing. Like, it doesn't really matter.
You can't invest. If you invest in it, you're going to turn into us and start nitpicking.
Yeah, which is what I did because whenever I have this mindset that we're going to record a review, I really do invest. Like, I'm actually watching the movie. I'm not sitting there like on my phone and shit and you know. So I'm actually watching the movie. So I don't know. And if you like I don't know how I'm trying to say this here. If you're a fan of the paranormal movies, like movies about ghosts or movies about like demons or entities or poltergeists or anything like that, I mean, again, I really don't think this is a movie that you're going to enjoy. I think this is a movie that if you go into it expecting not to be like scared by paranormal stuff, you might like it. But as it's titled Paranormal Activity, I was expecting Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
And I never got that. So that's my final verdict on it. I honestly, like Logan said, I would not pay money to see it. And even though I collect physical media still, and I have all the other ones, unless I got it as a gift or I found it in like the $5 bin, I probably would never buy it. But I mean, it's all up to interpretation, I guess. But in my opinion, I would not recommend you spending your money to even start Paramount Plus if you don't have it already to even watch it. I mean, if you want to start a trial and watch it, that's up to you. But
I agree.
Yep. All right, Logan, what's your final number there?
What did I give Halloween?
You gave like a 6, bro.
Oh, okay. I was gonna give this one a 5. I would have done lower, but the cinematography was good, and the acting was better than you would expect for what seems to be a low budget movie.
Yeah.
So.
And that's like the original Paranormal Activities were low budget, and I feel like that's what made them scary.
Right. Yeah.
They didn't have to do all this CGI and crazy shit in order to scare you. It was just like there's shit going on, dude. Yeah. There's bumps in the night and all this shit.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'll give it a 5. If you haven't seen other reviews, that's 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Not 100. No.
Should be. No.
I give it a 5.6. No.
I'm honestly, bro, like I mean, I do like the cinematography and the acting, and there was a couple cool things about it, but I would honestly, and this is crazy, because I love horror movies, I'm going to give this like a fucking 2 or a 3.
All right.
Like, towards the end of it, even during all the crazy shit, I was kind of like, damn, bro, is this almost over?
Yeah. And then when it ended, I didn't want it to be over. Because I wanted to see what the fuck that guy was going to do.
I wanted them to explain the paranormal shit that was happening, but they never fucking did. But anyway, I just think that in my opinion, the cons heavily outweigh the pros in this movie. And I'm not one to be a stickler about movies. Like, I fucking love movies. I love to watch shitty movies on purpose. Like, we watched The Room.
Yeah.
I fucking love that type of shit because they're shitty and they're supposed to be. But to me, the Insidious curse, as I've fucking said before, just ruined this movie for me, dude. And I would not recommend. I honestly, I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, if you're scrolling through and have nothing else to watch and you already have Paramount Plus, like I said, go ahead. Whatever. But I would not recommend buying this movie. I would not recommend going to the theaters. I would not recommend making this like a huge, like, oh, we all got to sit around and watch Paranormal Activity next to kin together. Yeah. It's just like I mean, and you take it how you want. I mean, obviously, you guys can watch your trailers and do your own research and decide if you want to, make this a huge thing. But in my opinion, I'm really glad that we didn't go all out.
Yeah, for sure.
Because usually whenever we do shit like this where we get everybody together and watch a movie, it's like we're going to order fucking wings and pizza and we're going to have drinks and we're going to all this shit. It's just like, no, I'm glad that we all we wasted was a Saturday afternoon. So
yeah, on our quarantine.
Yeah. So it wasn't. I mean, I don't know. It wasn't great. I mean, I'll give it a 3 for the cinematography, but I'll take away the 2. I'll give it a 3 out of 10.
Okay, for the cinematography and the acting.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
The monster was kind of cool, but like I said, I wasn't there to watch a monster movie. So again, it's like if you're gonna make the monster cool, make it about monster. Don't make it about fucking paranormal activity.
If I'm gonna watch monsters, I'm gonna watch Monsters Inc.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would rather seen fucking Mike Wazowski down there in that fucking well.
You imagine he's all fucking.
And it has that old lady receptionist in there, and they're fucking preparing the body.
Yeah.
Mike Wazowski.
I have you some food.
Dinner time, Wazowski.
But
Yeah.
anyway, I think that pretty much concludes it. You guys do with that what you will.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I offend anybody out there for talking shit about it. And it might come from the fact that I'm not that big of a Paranormal Activity fan as a whole, but compared to the other ones I've seen, man, this one was not.
You get the producer all in the comments, fucking motherfucker. I fucking spent so much time on that fucking movie.
No, to each their own, man. So there's probably people out there that would rate this a fucking 9 or a 10 out of 10, you know?
Yeah, that's fine.
But in my opinion, my likes of movies and shit like that, I was not about it.
Yeah.
So I'll stick with my 3. Yeah. But anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed this next review that we had of Paranormal Activity Next of Kin. We also have Halloween Kills review up. If you haven't seen that already, or if you already have seen the movie, you can still go support us. You know, that'd be cool.
All right.
And then we also have a Suicide Squad review that came out a couple months ago. That's been up. That's probably way too far out of everybody's range now to watch a review about it because I'm sure everybody's seen it or just going to ignore it. So, yeah.
And real quick, I wanted to add our competition that we hate so much, IGN, actually is on our side, it appears.
Oh.
And they rated it a 4. Paranormal Activity Next of Kin is a disappointing reboot which doesn't tread any new ground for the franchise or for the 4 footage horror subgenre.
See, I didn't even have to read
Found
IGN's. I didn't even have to read that, and that's pretty much what we said, but in a lot more depth and detail.
Yep.
That's literally what we. It is not. It does not hold any ground. It's just like a sorry attempt, bro. It's just boop.
Yep.
That's crazy how I gave it a 3, you gave it a 5, so on average it would be 4, and that's what IGN gave it. That's fucking crazy.
You were right, it is only on demand, so.
Cool. So it's only on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
And who knows if it'll even come out to physical. You might only be able to watch this on Paramount Plus for the rest of its days, but that's probably good. So
don't let it see a disc in its life. But anyway, all right, I think that that'll conclude the episode. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, if you guys liked what you saw, we have our links down below where you can check out our podcast. We talk about a bunch of different shit on there. Yeah, go check us out. We're on everything that you can think of. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Pandora.
OnlyFans, Pornhub, XNXX.
All right, Hopper.
At your service.
Oh, anyway, as far as what's coming up in the future, I don't know of any new movies that are coming out that I've particularly taken a liking to that we could both review. Considering that you just said that, though, the new Stranger Things is coming out relatively soon.
I thought it got pushed to next year.
Yeah, it got pushed. Never mind. It was supposed to come out.
Big Mouth is coming out, though.
Big Mouth is coming out next month. Or, yeah, here in a couple days. So.
And I did just a little... if you made it this far, just a little teaser into our podcast world. If you did you have a topic for tonight?
I did not.
Okay, I was gonna kind of go dive into the new movies coming out.
Cool.
So since it seems to be there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Especially on Netflix, they're pumping them out. So
Netflix is pumping them out. The streaming services are pumping them out, but I think it's because they're trying to get rid of the theater services, bro.
yeah,
Think about it.
yeah.
They're making all this shit like this fucking Paranormal Activity exclusive to demand. Because they don't want the theaters are a big competition for those types of things.
You imagine telling our grandkids what a movie theater used to be?
That's crazy, dude. And I hope that never happens because I fucking love going to the movies, man.
No, if that happens, we're just gonna have to make our own.
I fucking would.
Huh?
We'd be the last one. We'd be like the last Blockbuster.
Yeah. And I feel like we'd be that's a good business model. If nobody else is doing it, we had no competition.
People would be coming from all over the world.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, this is Dragged On. Have a good day.
Yeah.